More about this with Larry Cohen. He's the senior advisor to the Bernie Sanders campaign. Larry, the president of the United States just called Bernie Sanders a bright, shiny object. Your reaction?
Well, I think that's the parallel to his own journey 8 years ago, and I was actually supporting him then, that he offered hope. And I think Bernie and actually all the Democratic candidates are about a positive vision of the future. Bernie's is about change, not just continuity, in a similar way that then Senator Obama was talking about change. And Bernie's talking about why can't we have higher education that doesn't leave our kids burdened with ridiculous debt? Why can't we have Medicare for all? Why can't we, even though the path will be difficult, imagine a country where people are working and they're looking forward to a better America?
But Larry, if you take this interview kind of in total with Politico, it was surprising how much the president had to say about a Democratic primary, but also how he really does seem to bend over backwards in his praise for Hillary Clinton, not so much so for Bernie Sanders. What do you say then to the president?
Well, what I would say in general is she was the Secretary of State. He made a political decision after that election to unite with that part of the Democratic Party. And I would say to him, with all due respect, Mr. President, the same kind of change that you had hoped to work for, Bernie is trying to continue on that path, not go back to the 1990s of President Clinton.
Just to be clear, you're reading this then the same way we are. You read this, you see his comments, hear them, and it does seem as if he's putting his thumb on the scales, as a White House advisor is quoted in that, putting his thumb on the scales in support of Hillary Clinton and not Bernie Sanders. That's how you see it?
Well, yeah, I see it minimally that way, and to be expected. And to be expected, the cabinet members that serve with her are mostly supporting her. As Bernie puts it, the political establishment, and it doesn't mean they're bad, the political establishment is supporting continuity. Bernie is saying to millions of Americans, and that's where the energy is coming from, that we can work for change. It's not simple. It won't be just elect me. It'll be that we have to, work for change on city councils and state legislatures and everything up and down the scale. But that together we can create a new populist moment in this country.
Larry, what do you say then when you hear Hillary Clinton fight back against that title of being part of the Democratic establishment, the political establishment? She made the point in an interview with CNN that Bernie Sanders has been in Congress far longer than she had. He's been in Congress for 20-plus years. He's part of the political establishment as well.
Yeah, well, in actuality, he came to Congress 2 years before President Clinton was elected. It's not that far before. And, but to get to your main point, yes, he is part of the political establishment, but he's part of the establishment, as he's always been, saying we need to figure out how can regular Americans get together and create a different future for this country where it's not about billionaires, but it's about the values and the dreams and the hopes that we all have.
All right, Larry Cohen, great to have you with us. Please come back. Fun talking to you.
Thanks, Larry.
My pleasure.